All right, guys, here we're going to talk about iZombie Season 4, Episode 8. So, continuing a...
I'm reading my notes.
All right.
No, I don't know. Yeah, no, we sort of continue where we sort of left off. The show continues to be a show.
Let me ask you a question before we go into this review seriously. And maybe I'm an idiot and I just missed whole parts of it or had a small stroke.
This might be the
Did they ever go to the case? She eats a rapper's brain. Did they ever do anything related to that other than dress her up and talk in a way? They interviewed the brother. But I don't think they ultimately solved the crime or even left the building because they got, like, like martial law and couldn't leave the station. So they played their D&D and they bring this their neighbor to the station.
I think the lockdown happens and that's just it. Yeah,
that's the whole episode.
I didn't even I was so struck. So any praise that I've given the show for like 3 episodes
out the window,
ago
right?
is gone.
Yeah,
this was so horrible. Her brain is so horrible. I forget. Like I couldn't even write down.
Got it in the lost and found. G. Like what the fuck?
Yeah, and again, like if we had established that this was her lame interpretation of a thing, like you want to do with the.
And what did she make a taco? Like rappers eat tacos
with the major wrestler thing, right? We said like, well, if this was his. View of like what a wrestler was, and that's why he's acting like that. That's okay, but that isn't how the brains work. You just start talking French, right? So this is just how this rapper was, I guess. But seeing her do it, I can't imagine that like big fat dude doing all that stuff. I don't know.
Well, he kind of did that stuff. Like they were jiving back and forth in their rap linguistics, but it was just so brutal. And we all know people that are brutal like that. And you're like, oh my god, what are you doing? You can ugh. But this was a bar a notch ahead of where it remotely should have been, and it was just dragging the episode down all around it.
Yeah, I wrote down
rapping in the worst way possible.
I wrote down, oh my god, why? She's not even trying. What does has a rap box mean? Raps. What's a rap box?
What context was that used?
I don't know.
You wrote it down.
I know.
What? What? When was it said?
Was someone beatboxing? Was there a box of raps? Is that a typo? What do you think's going on here?
What are you? Are we having a stroke? Where did that come from?
I just read it out of my notes.
Oh, you wrote that?
Yes.
Oh, I have no idea.
Oh God. Okay.
I thought that was like she mentioned
obvious.
or said something, and I was like, "What does that mean?" Did you have this closed captioning on? And at one point, Liv says, "My rap box." I was like, "What?"
There's something about that. I forget what it is now, but no. So her
lost and found was a rap box.
Her being this brain is awful, especially.
Oh, did you mean she had the thing to deliver? She was rapping, and she had acoustic blocking panels.
Thank you.
And you're like, did you just have those? Was that also in the Lost and Found?
See, you're on board. Yeah, she raps into like a 3-paneled, soundproofed, and there's like you see like Ableton or Logic or something, as if she just has this.
So let's just really dive onto that for a second.
Because that's what rappers do.
She ate the brain.
Yeah.
She's on lockdown. Never left the station, has all the means to rap into her homemade recording studio.
I want to hate that, but I don't know when she physically ate the brain and like when the lockdown happened. There might have been a gap there where she could have run to.
It was never would it have been shown. I don't think that's true, and I do hate it.
I hate it because even if it's not true, like. Is this just what she does? As the hockey player, was she out buying sticks and stuff and pads? Like, what's happening here, right? Is she just bankrupt from, like, trying to catch up to her brain's life and, like, the things that it would want? I think she is. I think that's the actual plot of the show. She's an indentured servant who has no money and is destitute because she keeps buying face paint and hats and all these horrible things.
So I'm thinking what we should do, a real stimulus package, is we do make half of America zombies. Then they're all just flooding our economy with buying things. No one cares about bullshit.
It's actually, right, because so right now capitalism is like gated because each person only has one set of obsessions and passions and like
they have to buy food
and all that stuff. Yeah, right. So we can just swap that out. Now every week you're gonna have a new set of interests and like compulsions driving you to buy. I need blouses. I need shirts. I need fancy shoes. Right.
We should really just be like subtly infecting millionaires. Because they would take everything to the extreme. Like, Bill Gates poor in 4.5 months.
Because they'll have to redo their entire life to fit their new persona.
Oh, I don't want my house to be this now. I want my house to be MC Hammer's mansion. Oh, I don't want MC Hammer's mansion. I want to live under the sea. I want to just going crazy.
I think we're onto something here. I think that'll work.
Yeah, I'll write that in my notes. I'll call it Brain Box.
Brain Box. The only other thing there was that Peyton says Liv and Major still love each other, like they're setting this thing up still.
Oh, that's been a thing
at this
that's
point.
Stupid.
But now they're saying, so like it was cool when Liv on a weird blunt brain
said about Ravi.
Yeah, said like, I don't know, just get back together with him. To like Peyton was like, what? And all that stuff.
Yeah.
This is the opposite and like worse. They've like things that are happening now are making things that I liked from like 4 episodes ago like worse. That's like what's happening.
That's all part of my plan.
Exactly.
No, like I never thought they weren't going to ultimately end up together because they didn't break up originally because of any problems. They broke up because like, I'm a human, I'm a zombie, we can't be together, and then always like just crap got in the way. But you know, the underlying feelings have always been there. They're obviously going to stay together.
Did they even break up because he's part of the fascist dictatorship, or is
no? They were broken up when he joined the fascist dictatorship. As far as I remember.
Why would they do that?
Because life is bad.
This is so easy to just be like, I can't believe you're signing with them. Liv, security is important. And, you've changed. What? And they could just do that.
Yeah.
And now she,
I think it was more like he needed a job and no one would hire him, and then he got a job.
Oh, that's infuriating. Should we talk more about those people?
Sure.
The film work Gravesy people.
That French idiot, I hate him so much.
He's back. The guy that we thought would never
go.
We thought he would never return to the show, because why would you ever do this?
He is in charge of zombie-related crime, so he can't leave.
Zombie-related crime. Yeah. And like Clive makes fun of him still, but no, we can't keep doing that. That's awful. So Chase Graves is out of the loop. He's not happy with all the stuff, right?
Yeah, I'm thinking Frenchie is the guy who is stealing information.
That would be awesome, because
then he can die.
Then we can guillotine his ass and be done with it.
Do they call it a guillotine? Is there a special name for it? I want it to be like the head crushatine or something.
I think people have called it a guillotine.
Or the make you poutine or something.
Make you poutine-a-tine.
Yeah.
No, nowhere near even that 5 seconds of cleverness. I think someone's just called it a zombie, guillotine.
Zombie guillotine.
Head smasher's pretty good.
If they just ran the blade the other direction, you could use a regular guillotine, right?
Probably, right? Or just cut off their heads and then put the heads somewhere, like we've established now. The heads will still, live. That's more terrifying than just dying.
That's kind of the better way of doing the deep freeze if they're going to get life in prison.
Have a bunch of heads in there.
Yeah. Well, because then later you could still get information from them if you needed. Yeah, I'm on board for that. That sounds, especially in this world where like if you freeze it, it doesn't go bad. So you could actually, that makes a lot of sense. I don't know why they don't do that.
And then by season 8, we'll have heads on like robot bodies with laser guns. It'll be great.
I wonder if you took if you took a zombie head and cut another zombie body off and put it on there, would it graft itself back on? Because
we haven't seen any evidence of any of that happening, I think.
Didn't we see an arm go back on? Maybe I'm wrong.
I don't know.
Maybe I just wanted that to happen.
I want them to establish this because it should be fairly obvious and easy how stuff works and I want to know what I'm afraid will happen to a zombie.
Well,
right?
season 8, there will be a guy doing all kinds of experiments. His name will be like Frankenstein or like some loosely veiled idiocy.
Excellent. Sugar cane.
And like Dirty Rain or something?
He has some stupid name. I didn't write the whole thing down. Is loose. He's like a zombie killer.
Oh, I was thinking of the rapper guy. Never mind.
Oh, no.
What was didn't the rapper name have something stupid?
I didn't even write it down.
It was something dumb. It was like Dirty Rain, and I thought Sugar
Oh, my
Daddy
God.
Or something.
No, yeah. It's, no. I have to have written that down. I'm so upset. Yeah, they had, Dirty Rain and Little Drizzle.
Little Drizzle.
Oh, my God. I'm so upset. Twin brother, like gross, like I'll say white rappers, but it's
the
gross.
Gingerest of Viking-sized rappers.
Like, why? And then just so that she's not imitating. Okay, great. It's awful. I don't know. Whatever.
Yeah.
Moving on. Chase Graves. We have a whole thing. The only thing that I liked all episode is they set up this thing where a guy's level 5 clearance is missing, and this guy's on the loose, and he's a zombie killer, and things happen, whatever. And then finally, he's in Chase Graves' office with a shotgun.
But you like that? I thought that seemed so lazy to me. Like, all right, he stole level 5. Well, I guess if you're forced to like something, that might be the thing. But my issue with that is it is a guy in plain street clothes holding a shotgun that, yes, has a level 5 clearance card, but how many places do you have to swipe that, or even just to get into the facility, that none of that would matter? You would be like, who's that guy with a shotgun? Why is he here? Everyone else is in uniforms. You're not in uniforms.
Possibly, and I would like to believe, I would like to have confidence enough in their operation to say, definitely couldn't have made it in there. We've seen like the gates and the guards with the keys and the things, right? But even his like war council is just like 6 dudes, and they kind of suck and stuff. And
no, agreed. They're not a great thing.
It's like nighttime and everything like that.
There's certainly a man in a room with cameras, and
I would hope so.
And like you'd think like I don't know, when things are buzzed in, like a camera like flips to it or something, you can see anything. Because if it's not like a thumbprint and a card, anyone could use the card. There has to be something, or at some point a checkpoint where you're swiping the thing and there's a guy at a desk or a secretary or something you pass, and you're just a dude wearing like fucking flannel and holding a shotgun.
My like, I'm not going to say enjoyment, but my like tolerance of this sequence is not predicated on me thinking that it's realistic that he got into the office or not.
It took me out of it a little bit where I was like, what? He's just there? Because like even just think about a non-military complex. Think about like your office. Yeah. Think about a guy getting to floor 7 with a shotgun. You'd be like, what? That probably wouldn't happen. Somebody would call the cops.
Something would probably happen. I don't know. But
just struck me as I'm like, really? That's the sword you're gonna fall on here? Like, come on, man.
Well, I had to get him in there.
If you would have just the guy he knocked out and took his card, have that guy, he's drunkenly passed out in his underwear, and that guy could be in his clothes.
Be in his boxer shorts or whatever.
He could be in his clothes and using the pistol that guy would carry, and I would have had no problems. It would have cost me, let me check how much, 0, because you already have all those things.
They do not care, though.
I know, but that's what's so insulting. It's a show that made it to 4 seasons on a primetime network where you're like, all right, you should have the wherewithal to use the thing that you freely have at your disposal that would make the drunk guy look even drunker and make this kind of funny, and like, god damn you.
Sure. No, that definitely would have been better. I don't think once we get there, though, he's holding the shotgun. I like the Chase Graves guy. I think he's okay.
He's okay, but it wouldn't hurt me if he died.
Yeah, and Major comes in. I liked the line. So he gets shot like in both legs with the shotgun and all that stuff. And I like the line later. He has like a Leatherman pliers, and he's like, if I get them all, I win a prize. Like, he's just this badass dude. And he just like no look is like, Major, scratch him or whatever. Like, we need to
Well, should I get a medical?
We can't let him die. Scratch him or whatever. And I'm like, oh man, like I like his tude. I like his like whatever. It sucks, kind of like Wings guy and later Gilda. It kind of sucks that he's on this show or whatever, but I kind of like his style or whatever it is, right?
I do like how he has almost impervious knees, though.
Okay.
There was very little damage to the caps themselves there.
Yeah, I mean, zombies have been shot before. It seems like something's. We really don't understand if it's healing or resistance or if it's magic.
They definitely heal, but it certainly takes a while. I don't think we can assume anything healed from the time we saw him, the time he's pulling those things out. Part of me would have loved for his character to be in a wheelchair, though, the rest of the season. Like, if it blew him, like, legs off.
Oh, like he has no legs now?
Because I'm pretty sure he was, like, as far as I am from the camera, and like, if I shot that, it would be chunks of nothing.
I guess,
and your knees are very little more than a camera, and I think that he would just they would have just been nothing.
I guess, yeah.
Would have enjoyed them. I guess they don't have the budget to do a costume change or blow kneecaps off.
I was gonna say he may have issues getting around, or they may just never mention it again, right? Whatever. But he was certainly dropped in the moment. He was
definitely. No, not to say that it was not an effective,
which I enjoyed.
At least annoyance tool used by our criminal. I just think I would have liked a little bit more awesomeness.
On a show where that doesn't happen that much, it was cool to see someone kind of like hobbled a bit or disabled.
A little weird that Major shot him in the stomach.
Sure.
Like, in general, when a guy has someone at gunpoint,
you gotta go center mass. You can't try for the headshot in that situation.
I guess, but I also wouldn't pull the trigger once. I would pull multiple times at center mass. But to each their own.
He secretly wanted to be the next person in charge.
Major?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's just pulling the strings. He's playing the Game of Thrones.
I actually thought there might be a thing where Chase Graves dies and Major somehow does become the next. He was in your will to leave the company. What? Golden ticket.
He specified his He specified his successor, and he's like, I'm King Ralph, and then he's like, a golden ticket, Charlie. It's just everything all at once, this pile of things. No, that's amazing. How'd they do that?
Eventually, yes, that's probably going to happen just because the show doesn't care about anything.
So then Liv is like the head of like the underground whatever, and then he's the head of like the overground whatever, and it's just this awful.
From his like ivory tower.
It's perfect. It's perfect. I'm the chaos killer, baby.
The idea that this show is even going to season 5, it's almost a crime.
So going into this season, we were like, how are they going to do this, right? And now we're seeing it, I guess. So whatever, but
when season 3 ended and you knew a season 4 was coming,
yeah.
we had these like, wow, they're going to have to, and it's like, well, they did nothing that we thought they would do, and I'm trying to think forward now, like season 5. Do you think it does spread the wall, and they're going to use this girl like, okay, we have the cure now, we have to do this thing, like
maybe
because there's a weird architecture. There's a weird what's the word for that? Not architecture. There's a like a land grab plan now where we're going to buy a property cheap and then infect the whole world so that our property gets more valuable. What the fuck?
We didn't talk about the whole episode, right? I liked that too.
Did you hear the basis of this thing? They're using
real estate,
but real estate's the word I was looking for.
They're using, okay.
We found we have this. We're trying to use X amount of money to do this and blah blah blah. We're running out of money. This whole like the amount of money they're talking about is the lowest, shittiest amount of money to be getting from ruining the whole world. Oh, we'll buy these for $2 million each, and they'll be worth like $20 million or whatever he says. And I'm like. Yeah. That amount of money is not worth destroying the world.
Wait, are they destroying the world? What are they doing here?
Their plan is to leak the zombie virus so that their property is valuable again. So destroying the world in the sense that they're going to spread the zombie virus outside the wall.
Well, they're all zombies. They're doing fine. They think it's okay. No, I know what you're saying.
It is only barely okay, and the moment it spreads and keeps spreading, when it gets out of a controllable realm where you can be like, okay, I have enough brains to either feed people or there's not enough zombies, so I could just kill ones that are in my way. You're like, okay, you can control this. When it becomes like a 50-50 of the world with no walls, hungry eat, and you're done.
Oh yeah, and he should be able to do that math. My takeaway from that was I liked giving Donnie like giving someone a brain for a reason for once, actually planning it out.
No,
and
that
saying,
was
like, I'm going to give you this brain. And, like, he's, like, Donnie's one of the people you can give brains to, and I'm like, oh, I'm interested to see how he plays this or whatever.
Yeah,
right?
usually he plays them pretty well. He's one of the better actors on the show,
right?
And from his original character, you wouldn't have believed that.
Yeah, exactly.
And I imagine if you meet him, he's just like some smart guy with glasses, and he's like, oh, I can play
like
anything.
A normal guy. Oh, I've studied under the whatever. No, he's probably, I don't know.
Juilliard.
Yeah, something. But, yeah, no, I was like, okay, like, he actually played it off. His, like, weird virgin nerd thing or something like that. But also was like, I'm getting the business done and all that stuff. And Blaine, I like that. I don't like that it's quite as dumb as you're pointing out that it is, right? But I like that it's this dumb, like, we're gonna, like we're gonna take advantage of the situation and use real estate to like do our things or whatever, right? I would have liked them to maybe spell out like, and the value is gonna go up one way or another, and have something like that instead of this plan of like infecting everyone or whatever. But
yeah, when he first started talking, he's like, we buy it up now while it's cheap, and then when the wall comes down, he goes, we have all this blah blah. I'm like, okay, that's playing the long con, hoping for the best. That's the thing that might pay off,
and that still works regardless.
But if you think just 2 episodes earlier, they were fighting so hard to get $100,000, which makes me think they don't have liquid millions around. So selling these virus cures, did they say how much they got for the first instance? They sold one or something.
But there's so much. We spent so long complaining about some of the other things. There's so much here. Peyton is like acting mayor. Blaine burns the map.
And that's
the
same
end.
reason you think that Major will become the head of whatever. I'm like, I'm like, what was she?
Everyone,
like,
right, we're like, what? Why are you next in line for mayor?
Is Liv going to be the head of the cops? Like,
I hope so. And Ravi
or Babineau probably.
Yeah, Babineau's. You're the commissioner now. And honestly, that's dumb. But of anything, right? That's the thing. Where like we started off with this show following seemingly random people that have whatever connections they have, and then 5 or 6 seasons later, because they're isolated, right? Those people we chose to follow them from the very beginning because they would end up being the Jedi Council of New Seattle.
When you were about to say, you said, and Babineau, you're the head of the, did you then? I thought I heard you say, and Ravi, here's your sword in your eye patch.
I did. I was like, Ravi has a sword. Yeah, no, I know. We have to something has to happen.
Because where's his logical leap? What could he be like? The head of the science council?
Yeah, I was gonna say. So he's this like mad scientist, right? He's gonna keep experimenting on himself. He's this weird Hulk thing now, where he can like transform.
More like a Dr. Jekyll.
Yeah, he can like zombie. He's like a weird mutant. He like he's different. He's the biggest. He should be the biggest deal on the show right now. He's neither human nor zombie. He's got all this stuff happening, right? And they could do whatever they want with that, and they can turn it. Turn it into this whole thing, and somehow a sword and eye patch.
I wonder if he scratched her, what would happen?
Right.
Because he's riding a line. Like, is he different? And at this point, is it even more valuable to scratch her or not? Like, saving a life, yeah, all right. But she's immune. There's something so much more to that. How much time does she have? Will they know she's about to die before she dies? Could they try things again right then? Or is it like one of those I'm out like type of deaths?
So we don't know. So like it actually opens with this tease where she's talking to her mom or something.
Yeah.
She's like, kids with whatever syndrome, they never get old or whatever.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, okay. And in my head I'm like, she doesn't age. And then I'm like, oh no, it means she's gonna die for okay.
I like where your brain went.
Yeah. I was immediately wow, that's how she's like resisting the zombie thing. Because being a zombie is like being really old. Your hair turns white, you get all gross, it checks out. Do it. Yeah. So she volunteers to be the guinea pig, which is like the right thing to do. That's awesome. Right? That's what you would hope for or like expect would happen. So they're going to run some tests. We're going to have colored beaker fluid with little bubbles going up and stuff, and Ravi being like, the cells are multiplying and all that stuff. It's going to be awesome.
I would actually love, what I would like, so this would be maybe season 6 at this point.
Okay.
Season 6, the zombie virus is completely gone, right? It's completely gone. Blaine is still a criminal empire guy, and he has now all this property, and he's doing his criminal thing.
Yeah.
His dad just runs a straight-up, like, church scam thing. He's still alive, which he'll probably die in the next season.
Yeah.
And then, like, you have Liv and Ravi and Major and all these people are like, all right, we got to stop these criminal enterprises. And now it's just like a regular cop show. It's come full circle.
It's just Fast and Furious.
Was zombie.
I was zombie. Yeah, no, and like Ravi's back at the base with like a headset on. It's like Clive, to your left. I have movement.
No. Ravi is the only zombie because he passes the blood pressure test because he's not a zombie.
And now he's got
at this point he's learned to control it.
He's a superhero.
Yeah.
Now he's a superhero.
And he's got an eye patch and a sword.
And he has an eye patch and a sword. No, it's perfect. He's a superhero. Part of like the test or whatever screws up one of his eyes or something like that, and he has these powers and all these stuff.
He's got one dead eye, and he can see death with it.
Oh my God! He can see to the ethereal plane. He can find the zombies because they don't have a soul. Do zombies have a soul in this? What do you think?
They have to in this.
Are ghosts real? Because if you have a ghost and a zombie, what happens? All right. I think we've plotted out the next few seasons and stuff's pretty solid here.
Are there any other bits that we've left out on this episode?
The D&D game I guess we should talk about.
Yeah,
Clive loves D&D.
Yeah, he runs it. He's the fucking dungeon master.
He's the DM. What the hell's going on? I guess this was set up
a little and him and that girl.
About it. Yeah. They do some kissy.
Yeah.
Okay, good times.
It sets up that he's probably going to leave that other girl, I think, eventually.
I
don't see him as a guy that can do both. I don't think he can have the cake on the side and eat his other cake. I think he's...
Which is interesting, I guess.
And she's much better a fit for him in every way, it seems.
I know.
Alive, likes his shitty interests. Like, that's
Exactly. Yeah, I couldn't tell if she was totally faking the D&D thing or just doing it because he was there, or either way, right?
Either way, though.
It's kind of good, yeah.
Yeah, it's almost better if she was just doing it because it's like, she actually likes him.
Or she knows enough at the very least to be like, I'm a rogue. I'm like an elf rogue who can steal everything or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I don't love D&D. I don't love D&D in things. We've had 1 or 2 episodes centered around D&D on this show, and they have been setting up some things with because even Ravi said talking to Ravi, he said something like, "Oh, LARPing." So the only problem with D&D is that you're just sitting around. This could work or whatever. So I pictured him getting into like medieval reenactment or something horrible like
maybe
that.
In a future episode.
There's still time. There's seasons to go.
Hundreds of them.
Every time you say anything like season 6, I'm just like, oh fuck, like it's always it always cuts me so much.
That's pretty much everything that happened in this episode.
Yeah, I mean, I'm actually interested to see what we do medically with the girl and how the whole thing with the dead mayor and all that works out. Peyton being acting mayor, though, is just so, like, I hope someone says, wait, why are you mayor? And we're like, well, everyone's dead or a zombie or, like, running or, like, no, the entire line of succession, 18 people have, like, died or, like, been, like, missing or left Seattle or whatever. There's no one left.
Yeah.
And I'd be like, okay.
Not that it's not possible, but what was her position? She was she's attorney or whatever?
She's a DA, I think. She's district attorney. And then she became head DA, I think. She used to just be like,
I can't even.
Thinking back to season 1 hurts because it's been so long and so many things.
When she was like a waitress at a coffee shop or something.
She was just chilling.
All right, guys. Okay. That's everything that happened in this episode. Let us know in the comments about what you thought about it. Don't die in a fire, and we'll see you next time.
Hello, internets. I just love watching JustDaggers. If you've enjoyed this video as much as I have, click that subscribe button. Peace out, homies.